What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Hey, it's just before 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Most of you guys know Lions aren't doing a whole lot today, so we did get some information about, 10, 15 minutes ago. I wanted to get it over to the Lions fandom. Sounds like the Lions have worked out about 3 to 6 different players, testing things, trying to probably build things for a list, reserve list, call-up list if, they need some people during the preseason. One of them is, as I'm sure you probably could see from today's thumbnail, a little bit of a surprise. And from people I talked to, the Lions aren't incredibly interested in him, but he's interested in the Detroit Lions. Let that set in for a long time, Lions fans. You got former All-Pros wanting to come here versus going somewhere else. Joining us to talk about this is going to be the host of Johnny Gas Sports, Johnny himself. Johnny, you got news today. The Lions brought in a couple running backs, a couple receivers. Sounds like an offensive lineman for workout. And then also Matthew Judon, the former All-World, All-Pro, train-wrecking, pass-rushing, linebacker, defensive end, who apparently the Lions aren't incredibly interested in, but he wants to be a Detroit Lion. What are your thoughts on this?
Hey, buddy, who wouldn't want to be a Detroit Lion right now? So you can't blame the guy for wanting to be a part of this organization. But the ultimate question is, on the other side of it, do the Lions want him? But we know the situation, right? I think with the Levi injury, I think they, we know where Aleem's at. We know they need something. And all I've heard lately is, when's Zadarius Smith going to sign? When's Zeke coming on? Well, it hasn't happened yet, guys. The truth is, I think they're right to work him out. He is only a few seasons out from a 15.5 sack year. He didn't have a great year last year, and we know he's had some injuries and some concerns. But the truth is, if the Lions feel comfortable with this, I think this is the type of guy that does create a presence enough so that Aiden can do his thing on the other side. In my opinion, Dan, I don't know if they pulled the trigger on this. Just, their history. They don't love the outside guy, and they have to be very certain that he's one of their guys.
Yeah, and I think we'd all agree. It sounds like the Lions, the last few weeks, even before training camp, they kicked the tires on lots of different people. They did sign, as we all know, a couple defensive backs. They were a little short-handed there. They've signed a couple other guys here and there. Nobody that's probably really ultimately going to make the 53-man roster. We also know, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, so I apologize. They brought in the UFL's leading touchdown scoring running back, tested him out. We did have Lauren, who covers that on his channel for the UFL. He gave some thoughts on it. It sounds like, in my opinion, the Lions are just kind of doing their due diligence in case they need to make some upgrades during the early portions of the season, the latter part of the season. But with all that being said, if Matthew Judon does want to be a Detroit Lion, why do you think he would be so passionate about coming here versus, I'm assuming he's got offers from other teams?
I think it's the opportunity to play with like-minded players. And we know the Lions are trying to win. This is a Super Bowl or bust type season right now. And he's 32. So he's getting towards the end of his career. If he has any good years left, I'm sure he wants to be a part of a winner. So to me, that's probably his motivation. And I hear a lot of players wanting to play for Dan Campbell. They love his program. They love the way he coaches. And I think that Judon feels he'll fit very well here. Again, the question is, do the Lions want to pay him, to bring him on for what will clearly just be a rental?
We've heard in recent days Alex Anzalone kind of talk, maybe there's a hamstring situation going on. Maybe there isn't. It does sound like to at least some level he feels like he's due for a pay increase. We all know that Zadarius Smith wants to be a Detroit Lion. The Lions cut him because he was owed, I don't even remember, $13 million or something like that on his contract.
Yeah.
Sounds like the Lions want him closer to $6 or $7 million. If you're Matthew Judon, you want to come to the Detroit Lions, finish your career strong, I guess, play opposite Hutch. Maybe you'd have better luck than he did in Atlanta because he did not have a great go in Atlanta. Do you think the Lions tell him, okay, we'll bring you in, but you've got to do something like, and I'm speculating here, like $3 to $6 million a year? Do you think that's even possible?
I think it would have to be in that realm because like you said, Dan, they were not willing to give Z. I think it was close to like 10, 11 million. They weren't even ready to commit that to him. So if they're not willing to go there with Z, I can't imagine they're touching anywhere close to 6, 7 million with Judon. If he's willing to come in at that rate, then absolutely. If he's willing to jump on board and be a part of it, absolutely. But I guess on the other side of it too is that if you're just doing these short-term 1-year deals, it's kind of a prove it thing. He's going to have to prove it to get one next year. So it kind of puts the Lions in a beneficial spot too.
Yeah, and I'll pay attention to this as best I can, guys. I did not get a list of the names for the other players. I can tell you there were multiple running backs, multiple wide receivers, and I want to say that on the list there was also offensive lineman and somebody else. I don't remember them all. But when I do get that list, I'll try to get over to you guys as quick as possible. All right, Johnny, I know you got to get back to work. I know the Duke crew, probably got to get back to stuff as well. Why don't you go ahead and give yourself a shout out to everybody where they can find you, support you, and your great content.
I appreciate you having me on. I'm sorry I'm wearing this stupid Hawaiian shirt in your show. Ridiculous. But hey, we do what we do because I like Dan. I like the Duke crew, man. I like being on. Thank you so much for having me. At Johnny Gas Sports, we just started our Tuesday night lives at 9:30. If you want to become a part of that, that'd be great. Start your mornings with Dan. Finish your Tuesdays off with Johnny Gas. I appreciate you, buddy.
No worries. Hey, Lions fans, keep your notifications on. As you all know, training camp's underway. We're probably going to get more and more of this stuff almost on a daily basis. Lions kicking tires on this person, that person. Stuff's going to happen. Hey, stay up to date. If you would be so kind, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Go have a great day. Do something kind for somebody you don't know. We'll see you guys all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody. Oops.
Excuse me, sir, would you...
Donations to the Reverend Moon.
Juice for Jesus?
Read about Jehovah's Witness. How about Buddhism? How Jerry's kids? Oh, yeah. Scientology?
Or nuclear power?